And so I'm going to read from 1 Samuel 17:45-54. This will be a familiar story. I'm not going to read all of it, just a good portion of it. 45-54. David said to the Philistine, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will hand you over to me, and I'll strike you down and cut off your head. Today I'll give the carcasses of the Philistine armies and the birds of the air and the beasts of the earth, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. All those gathered here will know that it is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves. For the battle is the Lord's, and he will give all of you into our hands." As the Philistine moved closer to attack him, David ran quickly toward the battle line to meet him. Reaching into his bag and taking out a stone, he slung it and struck the Philistine on the forehead. The stone sank into his forehead, and he fell face down to the ground. So David triumphed over the Philistine with a sling and a stone. Without a sword in his hand, he struck down the Philistine and killed him. David ran and stood over him, took hold of the Philistine's sword and drew it from the scabbard. After he killed him, he cut off his head with the sword. When the Philistines saw that their hero was dead, they turned and ran. Then the men of Israel and Judah surged forward with a shout and pursued the Philistines to the entrance of Gath and to the gates of Ekron. Their dead were strewn along the Shaaraim road to Gath and Ekron. When the Israelites returned from chasing the Philistines, they plundered their camp. David took the Philistine's head and brought it to Jerusalem, and he put the Philistines' weapons into his own tent. Scripture lesson is very familiar story from the Bible. David, the little shepherd boy, is about to square off against the mighty Goliath. Now, Goliath was the Philistine champion from Gath, and he was their greatest warrior. He was huge. Back in verse 4, didn't read all the way back in verse 4, it says he was over 9 feet tall. That's bigger than I even thought it was when I was 6'5". A 9-footer would make a 6'5" guy look small. That's big. Now, in those days, the way they did things in order to avoid unnecessary bloodshed in war was to send out their best fighter against the other country's best fighter. And the winner of that one-on-one match was considered the winner of the battle. So naturally, the Philistines sent out their champion, the big guy, the mighty Goliath. And the best the Israelites could do up until this point was King Saul. And good old Saul wasn't about to go out and fight the giant Goliath. He just didn't. He was scared. So every day, Goliath would come out and he would defy Israel. He'd make fun of them. He'd try to pick a fight. And the Israelites even said that they got together and they developed a strategy that if anyone would go out and kill this fellow, the king would give him great wealth. He would give him his daughter in marriage. He'd be tax exempt in Israel. But I don't know about you, but that sounds like some incentive. And if you're a single guy, that sounds great. Think about it. Lots of money, king's daughter, no taxes. I'd like for the no taxes. You know? So, just to be tax exempt. But no one would even dare give it a shot. That's how scary the mighty Goliath was. So one day, here comes David. And I'm not sure what you picture when you picture David. The way they describe David, they kind of describe him as they call him ruddy. Ruddy isn't really a word we use anymore. You get the impression he's just kind of a little teenage kid who watches the sheep. And he asks in verse 26, what did they say? What's going to be done for the man who kills the Philistines and removes this disgrace from Israel? And he says, who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of God? David is not happy that somebody is thumbing their nose at God. You get the impression he's just tired of watching his people be humiliated by this guy. After all, they're Israel. They serve the God who brought them out of Egypt, who brought down the Egyptians. If God can bring down the Egyptians, part of the Red Sea, lead them out of Egypt, all the way over, certainly he can take care of Goliath. You would think. God's going to take care of them. So they tell David the reward. And then David's oldest brother shows up in this story. He kind of chooses not for even being there. You shouldn't be here. Kid, you should be watching the sheep. When David speaks his peace, and he goes to Saul, and he tells him in verse 32, let no one lose heart on account of this Philistine. Your servant will fight. David says, I can do this. I can do this. You can almost imagine the laughter that went up at David's expense. Saul even told him, you can't fight. He's the best. You're a little boy. You don't stand a chance. Even to this day, even people who don't believe in the Bible, they'll tell you when there's a matchup between a team that's very good and a team that isn't very good, it's like David and Goliath. It's become a metaphor for anything. And David doesn't stand a chance, and David says, hey, relax. I've killed lions, I've killed bears. This uncircumcised Philistine shouldn't be too tough. And Saul says all he can say, go. God be with you. The Lord be with you. So Saul gave him his gear. Saul tries to give David all this gear so David can put it on. He just wasn't working for him. And he wasn't used to it. So he decided he didn't need it. So he grabbed his staff, a slingshot, and 5 smooth stones, and he goes off to meet Goliath. Now, just for 1 minute, I have to tell you to put yourselves in people's shoes. You think the good guys. Put yourself in Goliath's shoes here for a second. What must this giant be thinking? This is the best they can do? This ruddy little boy? The Bible says that Goliath despised and cursed him by his gods and told David he'd offer his flesh to the birds and the beasts. And David amazingly doesn't flinch. He replies to the giant. He says this, and this is, I love David for lots of reasons. He says, you come against me with sword, spear, and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel whom you defied. Then he says, this day the Lord will hand you over to me. I'll strike you down and cut off your head. Today I will give the carcasses of your army to the birds of the air and the beasts of the earth, and the whole world will know that there's a God in Israel. And all those gathered here will know that it is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves. For this battle is the Lord. He will give all of you into our hands. This is one bold little guy. He's the mismatch of all mismatches. And David isn't scared. Why? He knows God's on his side. He knows he's on God's side. And that God was on the side of Israel. For some reason, King Saul didn't seem to grasp that concept. Didn't seem to get it. The rest of them didn't seem to know it. David's brothers didn't seem to know it. But the little guy who watches the sheep knew that the battle wasn't him versus Goliath, but rather it's God versus Goliath. And Goliath was no match for God. Is anybody any match for God? So had David gone in his own strength, he would have been defeated, but it wouldn't have been ugly. But Goliath probably would have torn on his finger. Is 9 foot tall. But David knew God. David knew God. We have to know God the way David knew God. If we know God the way David knew God, we can do the kind of things that David did. Do you know God the way David did? Because the Goliaths of this world are out there. They defy God at every turn. Unfortunately, there are those that we butt up against in the church who bought into the power in the face of Goliath. Oh, what can we do? We better just, he's just going to be there. We just got to have to deal with it. Yet Goliath keeps taunting and daring someone to step up. He's got swords, he's got spears, he's got javelins. Today, those weapons take on a different tone. Today, they come in the form of largely lies, twisted truths, dumb legislation, separation of church and state, political correctness in whatever way that manifests itself, lawsuits trying to make us afraid to stand up for what we believe. And far too many people in the church have taken the position of King Saul. Well, let's just not mess with it. You know, that's their champion. That's their thing. That's what they do. You know, and we can't do anything about it. And how is Goliath taunting you personally? How are you being challenged to lean on the strength of Almighty God in face of worldly pressure? It's tough. It's tough sometimes to lean on God. But we have to. We have to because Goliath's out there. And secondly, how is Goliath taunting us as the body of Christ? And who's going to be David? Who's going to be David? I mean, too often I found myself sitting around going, which one of you guys is going to do this? Who's going to be David? You know how it goes when we're in a meeting and you need somebody to do something. And you just want to be anybody to do it. Right? That's usually it. Even right now, if somebody says, hey, okay, who wants to open in prayer? Everybody goes, and as soon as somebody volunteers, Sharon's going to open in prayer. Okay, I don't have to. You know, then you're thinking, I want somebody to close in prayer. Who's it going to be? And the whole time you're worried about who you're going to ask to close in prayer. Been there? Been there? Done that? Who's going to be David? Who's going to stand up and say, you know, you uncircumcised Philistine, shut your mouth? you're going down. What does it take to be David? The only thing David had was a firm knowledge of who God is. He knew the enemy had plans for him. The enemy had weapons to destroy. The enemy has plans to destroy us. The enemy had plans to destroy David and his people. And David knew that the battle belonged to God. So he took his staff, his sling, and his rocks, and he ran quickly. Quickly, this guy's got gumption. Quickly to the battle line to meet Goliath. He didn't have all day. He had the sheep to get back to. He took out a stone, he slung it, hit Goliath right smack in the forehead. The Bible says it sunk in, and he fell face down. David hit him right here. Right between his, right where he does his thinking. Remember all that talk about forehead and hand? He hit him right where he did his thinking, and he brought him down. That's been a pretty good shot. Sunk in. Right? And the rest of the Philistines turned and ran. They thought they had an easy run. When David killed their hero, all of a sudden, they had other thoughts. They weren't afraid of David, but they were afraid of David's God. The people who defy God today, they don't have to be afraid of us. But it's time they learn to be afraid of our God, because we serve the same God who brought Goliath down with a little boy named David. I know sometimes it feels overwhelming. And Goliath was over 9 feet tall. I'm not sure I could reach 9 feet in the air. I have to jump to reach 9 feet in the air. It's overwhelming. 9 feet's overwhelming. We need to be better relying on God the way David did. But did you notice something? Did you notice? I love this, Marcus. You got to pay attention to the whole story. David relied on God, but you know what he also had? 5 stones and a slingshot. How many stones did he use? Just 1, but he had 5. You've got to be prepared. Got to be prepared. We persevere. We pray. Bold prayer. Bold declarations to the powers that be, that we come in the name of the Lord God Almighty. This is the kind of commitment that God honors. David's effort wasn't half-hearted. If David's effort would have been half-hearted, I would say it'd be a different story, but we probably wouldn't be reading about David's story if it would have been half-hearted. David was all in. And he knew God, and he knew God was on his side, and he walked by faith and 5 stones. And 1 little stone went in the sling. You know the song? When the sling went round and round, and 1 little stone went up in the air, and the giant came tumbling down. We need to find our 5 stones and be ready to hit the giants between the eyes. So hard it sinks in. Because they come against us with the weapons of the world. We need to come against them. In the name of the Lord Almighty. Prayer, fasting, commitment to our church, to the cause. He'll give today's Philistines into our hands. We're going to make the Philistines run. We're going to make the Philistines of our lives run. And they'll be destroyed. And we will proclaim that the Lord is God. When we step out the way David did, he had to do it that way. David didn't just sit back and wait for somebody else to do it. He didn't say, well, I think I can. He said, he got right in the guy's face and said, God's going to bring you down. Guess what? You know the rest. This is one of the stories we know the ending to. If you know it. A lot of sometimes in the Bible, we don't get the end of the story. We get left hanging a little bit. We know the end of the story. We got to know the Father the way David knew the Father. Let's get there. Let's pray. Father God, we thank you, Lord, for David, for the example that he set. Lord, he went on to be a great king, but before he was king, you called him to face Goliath. Lord, help us to face our Goliath. To face our Goliaths, our own personal Goliaths, our collective Goliath. Lord, whatever it is that defies you. We don't come with sword, spear, or javelin. We come in the name of the Lord God Almighty. Because you are awesome. You are awesome. Lord, fill us with your spirit. Lord, ready us for this battle in your name. Amen.